Hi everyone, I'm Rebecca from DevourDinner.com. Welcome to my kitchen and happy Sunday everybody. I'm back with another great recipe live demo to hang out on Sunday and help answer questions for the Instant Pot and other appliances that you might use. So welcome. As you join me, we are live on both Facebook and on YouTube. And as we get going, it's super important that we make sure all of our technology is going strong. So once you hop on, if you'll say hello, let me know you're here. But most importantly, can you hear me? That's what I want to find out. We are live. Perfect. We are live on both YouTube and on Facebook. And if you're new to joining me, please consider following along, subscribing to my YouTube channel, following along on my Instagram page. Then you'll get notifications when I do go live or when I have other great recipes that post each and every week. So welcome. Hi Peggy, how are you? Hello Amy, welcome. It is good to be here. Hi, let's see. Oh, Miss Mount Shasta, very good. Hello from Utah, loud and clear. That's what I want to hear. Perfect. We're good to go. We are live. And you can hear me on YouTube as well. I've already gotten that thumbs up. So we're going to do a fun recipe. This is a recipe you're going to want to make all summer long because it's so simple. It tastes like it's slow simmered all day long when it hasn't. You can get this recipe done in 30 minutes or so. It'll feed a large group. It also freezes well, any of the leftovers, so that you can have another meal another day. It's great for potlucks. It's great for family reunions. So many great things with this recipe. So I'm going to go ahead and drop the link right in the comments so that you have those. There it is. Perfect. You guys have those. You can open up another tab on your laptops and follow along with the recipe, or you can just take notes while I'm making it. I have already preheated the pressure cooker. See how it says hot? Well, it did just say hot. It'll flicker back and forth. This is what we're going to use. We're going to saute up some vegetables. Most importantly, we're going to cook up our hamburger. And we're going to use the saute feature. We're only going to partially cook it because we will cook the rest of it under pressure when all of those flavors meld together. Now you can do this a couple of ways. You can start by sauteing up the vegetables, which are about a half of a white onion, some celery, and a bell pepper. Use a little bit of olive oil, or if you want to do what I'm going to do today, I'm going to start with the hamburger. We're going to throw that right in the pot. And let's see, I have got a lot of ingredients going on here, but I want you to see my top down. So let's see. We're not focusing. I think it's the steam that's doing it. We may not have top down today, you guys. It doesn't want to focus right now. All right, no top down. Sorry about that. Well, we are going to go ahead and I'm just going to break up the hamburger. Just going to break it up. I'm using a flat edge wooden spoon and we're just going to break it up. Now I am using a 97.3 lean hamburger. Whenever you put any kind of meat on the bottom of a hot liner, when you've turned that saute feature on and it reads hot on the front, whenever you put chicken or steak or hamburger, it's going to instantly stick to the bottom. Instantly. Take a deep breath, everybody with me. Just big breath in, big breath out. Don't panic. I know you're thinking, well, I'm going to get the burn notice, but just relax. Because what's happening is that meat is just adhering and attaching itself to the bottom of the liner. But as it cooks and it releases some of those juices, it's going to naturally lift off the bottom and it pulls with it 98% of what was stuck. If you try to lift it sooner, it just makes a bigger mess. So just hang tight. We're gonna try this camera one more time to see if we can get it to focus. It is not focusing real well. But you can now see what I'm talking about. It was stuck and now it's lifting itself up. I have put in here 1.5 pounds roughly of a 97.3 lean hamburger. You could use a ground sirloin. You can use an 80-20. If you use an 80-20, make sure that you drain off that extra fat because you really don't want the extra fat going on. Peggy says it's probably the steam. I really think it is because I'm watching the steam go up, and every time the steam goes up, it's trying to counteract. It doesn't normally do that though. So that's really interesting. Hi, Trelva, how are you? Let's see here. All right, now we don't need to cook this until it's fully cooked. All right, we're gonna turn that off because that's just buggy. I'm gonna have to play with that this week. We wanna make sure as we are trying to cook this that we are lifting anything that might be stuck on the bottom because of course we do not want that burn notice. Now there's just enough of the fats and the juices that we do have a little bit of liquid in the bottom. So it is really easy right now to just kind of shift everything around like I'm doing. However, when in doubt, add a little bit of water and make sure that you scrape that bottom so that there is no burn notice later. And we've got enough liquid in here. I don't need to add any more. This hamburger is all broken up. I'm gonna let you try to see that if you can. See how that's all broken up? Okay, we are going to add to it celery. So I have just sliced up some celery. You can chop it up a lot smaller than what I have. My celery stalks were really thin and narrow, and so I just sliced it. I didn't dice it further. I do think it's kind of fun to have a little bit of texture in this recipe. So I'm gonna throw those in. Choose a bell pepper, a green, a red, a yellow, an orange. Use 1/2 to 3/4, really depends upon the size. I'm using, gosh, it's more than 1/2 cup, but less than a full cup of diced up red bell peppers. So I'm gonna throw that in as well. And then we're gonna add some white onion, and I'm doing about 1/2 cup of diced white onion. We're gonna stir all that in with some garlic. Now, the great thing about cooking under pressure is that all of these flavors are going to meld together as it's under pressure. Okay, I'm really sad that top focus is not working today because this is super pretty. We're gonna try it. Oh, you can't even see. It is super, super pretty with all of the colors of the vegetable in with the hamburger right now. It really does make for a great sloppy joe, not only the look of it, but the flavors as well. So we can cook that for a little bit. The vegetables will cook under pressure with all the flavoring, so it's not something we have to totally panic about. I am gonna go ahead and add some seasonings. So my seasonings are some chili powder, some salt, and some pepper. We're gonna sprinkle right into the bunch. I'm also gonna add in some Worcestershire sauce and some apple cider vinegar. So I have 1 tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce and 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. So we'll pour that in. We're also going to add a can of diced green chilies. Now, these are mild because that's what my family likes. What does your family like? Do you like mild, medium, or hot? If you want some zing into this sloppy joe, use those hot chilies. Because of all the other flavors that we have in here, it's not going to be spicy, spicy hot, but it will give you a zing if you use hot, or you could just use the medium. But go ahead and add those juices and all, and we can stir that in. And then finally, we're gonna add 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. This just helps to offset some of the acidity that's gonna go on with the tomatoes and everything else. So we're gonna give that a good stir. Oh, it's already smelling so good. So good. All right. This is diced tomatoes. You could use like the Rotel tomatoes with the chilies in it if you'd like. I prefer using the regular diced petite tomatoes with some of the juice. You're going to use 1 cup. Throw that in as well. We'll stir this up. Now, to pressure up any Instant Pot recipe, you know we need at least 1 cup of thin liquid. So let's think about the liquid that we've already added in. We have the juice from the chilies. We have the juice from the tomatoes. We have the Worcestershire sauce with the apple cider vinegar. My mind went blank. Already in here. So we've already added some thin liquid, but we're gonna need just a little bit more. So you'll want to add about 1/2 cup of more water, okay? And I like to make sure that I kind of create like a moat around the outside, just so that thin liquid has a place to be. Before we add, we're gonna add 1/2 cup of ketchup right on top. Now we're not gonna do any more stirring. And the reason we're not gonna do any more stirring is because ketchup is thick. We can't build up enough pressure with ketchup. We're also gonna add in some barbecue sauce. Again, we are not stirring. We're just putting this right in the middle. And then I'm gonna add about a tablespoon of mustard. Now the recipe calls for a Dijon style mustard. Today I'm using a spicy brown because you know what? We like it. And that one just wanted to ooze on out. Okay, we're gonna see if you can see any of this really quick. Yeah, kind of. So you can see the mustard right there in the middle on top of the barbecue sauce and ketchup. I know it's really dark, but there's that liquid around the outside. That is super important when we are trying to create pressure to build up. So we're gonna put our lid on it. We're gonna close the pressure valve in back. Our lid is locked in place. We're going to set it for 5 minutes. So we still have the saute feature going. So make sure you turn the saute off, and you're gonna hit your pressure cook button and use your plus and minus keys to adjust it to 5 minutes. All right. Now it'll take just a moment and we're gonna hear some beeps. And the beeps are gonna tell us that the Instant Pot has accepted the readings, just right there. And it's gonna start doing its magic. It's gonna start heating up all of that thin liquid, and it's gonna bring it to a boil. Once it hits a boil, it'll create steam, and of course steam creates pressure. The pressure is going to seal off the pressure valve in back, and then our timer is going to start. So right now it says that it's on, right? It's going to switch and it'll tell us that we have 5 minutes cooking. Those 5 minutes are gonna count down in time because that's how the Instant Pot or electric pressure cookers work. So it's really easy when you're in the kitchen to just glance over to your pressure cooker and know how much time is left because it's gonna tell you right on that front panel. At that point, it will beep at us again, letting us know that the cooking process has finished, and it automatically goes into what's called a natural pressure release. The natural pressure release will be different for every recipe. Sometimes you might want to do a quick release where you open up the pressure valve and let that steam go to the ceiling quickly. For this recipe, we're going to allow about a 10-minute natural pressure release before we open up the rest of the pressure and let it escape. Pretty simple, right? Okay, we're gonna let this do its thing because that's what we're gonna do. And I'm gonna hop back to some questions and I'm gonna clean up some of this mess. Let's get some of this out of the way. All right, put that down there too. And I'm just gonna tuck this off to the side. We're gonna let it do its thing. And we're gonna chat today. I don't have an extra little air fryer thing going on. Today we're gonna chat, we're gonna answer questions. I'm gonna show you how I save the leftovers and what I do with the leftovers. So we're gonna show you that. Hi Sigrid, how are you? So good to have everybody. And I know we've got some watching on YouTube as well. So if you're watching over on YouTube, welcome. I'm Rebecca from Devour Dinner. I want to give a huge shout out to Amy. Amy is the admin over at Instant Pot 101 for beginners. She and her team of moderators are fantastic. They not only help moderate what goes on in the Instant Pot 101 for beginners, but they come over here and help answer questions on Sunday when I'm live. And I just sure appreciate these ladies. So a big shout out to them. If you are from the Instant Pot 101 for beginners group, welcome. I'm Rebecca. I love to make Instant Pot recipes, air fryer recipes, family favorite recipes using ingredients found in your home. Nice common ingredients. I do go live typically every Sunday that I am at home. Sometimes I travel to see the grandbabies, and I'll show you some photos. If you missed those last week, I'll pop those up here in just a minute. Do we have any new people who've never been on before? That's what I want to hear. Do we have any new people? Doreen says, can't wait to try. All I do is manwich. You know, manwiches are good. We've used manwich. It's super quick, super easy. But try making this recipe because all of these flavors meld together like it's a slow simmer. Okay, I get this question a lot. What if I don't want to make this in the Instant Pot? Oh, right? Crazy. It's okay. You can make this recipe in your crock pot. You'll throw the ingredients in. However, you will pre-cook that hamburger and drain off any extra fat before you throw it in your crock pot. And then you'll put all the ingredients in there and let it slow simmer all day long. You might need to add a little bit of water as the day goes on so it doesn't dry out too much. But it's fabulous in the crock pot as well. Now, making sloppy joes. This makes quite a good size recipe. And I'll tell you what, our little household here cannot eat all of this. But here's the great thing. I love leftovers. And I love storing my leftovers in none other than Super Cubes. Haven't talked about these in a while. They're in my freezer. They're constantly being used. They wash well. They're amazing. And I'm going to drop a link for them here in just a minute. But Super Cubes are a silicone base. So this bottom is all squishy, right? The lid is hard plastic and there is a metal ring around the outside. So think of these like an ice cube tray, but so much better. Because ice cube trays are hard all over and these silicone are nice and squishy. These go in the dishwasher and they clean up. One question I'm always asked is what happens when you put like tomato sauce or sloppy joes? Guess what? This is what they look like. This is my original one and this is the color it washes up to each and every time. And I love it. And the great thing about it is you can fill it up. There's little measurement lines inside so you know if you've put in 1 cup or 2 cups, and then you put the lid on top, and then these will stack in your freezer if you need to. They come in all different sizes. Once they're frozen, you can take them out of these containers, put them in freezer bags so that you can reuse these for another meal. Simple as that. So I'm going to show you once this is all done. I'm going to put some in here so that I can freeze up for later because that makes a great leftover meal or take it for lunch, all kinds of things. Now this one you can see is a lot thinner. See how much thinner it is? This one is small individual. This one's cute. So this one is fun to use for sauces. So have you ever made gravy or salsas or extra sauces and you just don't know what to do with them? Like teriyaki sauce. My 10-minute teriyaki sauce is a great example. You have leftovers of it, but you don't want to throw it away. It'll store in the fridge for a few days, which is wonderful, but you might not use it all. Put it in something small like this and freeze it. Because these little small cubes, they're 2 tablespoons in size, are perfect when you're doing a single serving of fried rice and you want to throw some teriyaki sauce into it, or some steamed vegetables and you want some teriyaki sauce. Brilliant, amazing, right? These are also great if you're making baby foods and you just need small little portions to thaw out for those little ones later. There are so many uses. They do make a cookie scoop size, so you can do frozen cookie dough. You can also freeze them in the square. Cookies taste the same whether they're a circle or a square, you guys, I promise. I promise. Okay, if you're interested in these, I do have a code you can use to get 10% off. I'm gonna drop that in the chat for you the code is Devour Dinner 10. So it's all lowercase. Devour Dinner 10 will get you 10% off Super Cubes. They're a great small company. I first found them on Shark Tank. I saw them on Shark Tank when they were originally on. Immediately while the show was airing, ordered my set. I knew they were going to be great. And so many of you have purchased these. You use these at home. If I do have viewers that are using these at home, please chime in, let others know that you're using them, you love them, what you like about them, what you use them for, all of those kind of things. If you're new to watching me, please know I don't share just any product. I only share the products that I actually use and I love. That's my disclaimer. Every time I talk to a new brand, I let them know I'm going to use it first to give it my test before I share it with my audience. My audience, I know how much you trust and value my opinions, and I want to stay as authentic and transparent as possible. And so I only share what I use. I use these. These are brilliant. Just brilliant. Sigrid, thank you. Sigrid says, I just got the small 2 tablespoon Super Cubes to make and freeze pesto this summer. Since I'm allergic to nuts, I have to make my own. Hey, that's a great thing. Pesto would be wonderful in this to have in store. And so it's super fun because you then just pull it out and keep it in a Ziploc bag. Yeah, there's so many great things to use this small one for. It's just never ending. Never ending. Okay, Carolyn asks, how do you pop them out individually? Okay, I wish I had some frozen right now. Because ice cubes, if you think of ice cubes, your mind is like, oh my gosh, don't make me do an ice cube tray, because you're twisting it and the ice cubes crack in half and some fly out, and then you try to flip them over and not everything comes out and you're like pounding on it, right? Are you guys laughing at home? Because that's what an ice cube tray does. Seriously. These totally different. So the rounded edge, or the edges with the, I think it's like some metal that they have in here because it is really sturdy. You can do the same kind of twist just to kind of dislodge it. But then literally, you can almost push on the bottom and squeeze the bottom and they just lift right out. So if you only wanted to take out 1 or 2 or 3, you could just squeeze it and pull out what you wanted. Typically, I don't do that. I pull them all out and put them in a freezer bag so that, guess what just came? What's in that one?
What?
What's in that one?
The soup, the squash.
Okay, hold, watch this. Thank you.
The squash.
Guess what this is? My husband's out in the garage and he is bathing the dog. The dog gets a bath because he's an inside dog. You guys know that. Well, he heard me just say, I wish I had some frozen ones to show you. So this is some mashed sweet potato that we made, had leftovers. So we put it in this. This is a 1/2 cup serving, which is really kind of nice because these are like a nice individual size serving. It's frozen. As you can already see, when I hit the bottom, I don't know if you can tell, it just pops right up. See that? It just pops right up. Like I didn't even have to do any of this because you can just pop it up. So these ones have been in there a little while, which is why you see some of the ice. So don't let them sit in these because then you do get some of that, which isn't as great, but that's as easy as it is. Okay, does that help you? I hope it does. They're really easy to pull out and use, freeze. If you follow Super Cubes, she's amazing. Her freezer system of everything that she does, like I'm sure that they could eat off of their freezer for months on end because of how organized and how much she has in there. From vegetables to meats to soups to sauces to cookies to everything. It's truly phenomenal of how well she uses all of her ingredients and leftovers. Which, I mean, raise your hand at home. How many of you put things away in a Tupperware container in your fridge only to throw out later? We all have good intentions, but it just doesn't always work, right? Okay, did you hear the beep? The beep pretty much said that your 5 minutes pressure cooking is done. We have now started the 10-minute natural pressure release. So when the natural pressure release happens, it counts up in time. Sadly, there is no timer that's going to tell you come back and release the pressure. We have all fallen victim to let it naturally release for a very long time. This one can natural release for the whole time. It really doesn't matter because all it's doing is letting all of those flavors meld together. I let it naturally release for 10 minutes because I feel like that's a good point where you can then open it up and you can enjoy, make your sandwiches, whatever you're gonna do. So that's what that's doing. Juanita says, I love my super cubes. Carolyn says, so no need to line them. And the answer is no. You don't need to line it. You don't need to spray with like cooking spray either. You just put it in. Now here's another cool thing. You can actually bake in these. You can bake in these. So that one that I showed you are half cup and they're a little thin line. This one is a 2 cup and it's a big square. The 1 cup is like little mini loaves. Okay? You can make banana bread. You can make zucchini bread. These go in the oven. Now, if you're gonna bake, yes, spray some non-cooking baking spray in there, all right? But then you can bake these breads. Think about Christmas time when you wanna bake little mini loaves for people and you wanna do a zucchini bread or you wanna do a peppermint or an eggnog loaf with a banana bread and give somebody the trio of breads. Super easy to do. You don't need extra loaf pans. You've got it all in one. So that's super nice. When you order these, you can also order them as a 2 set. So you have 2 as well. They're super affordable. Like I said, I've now had these, oh gosh, probably coming up on 3 years. And you can see the shape that they're in. Like I haven't cracked or broken any of these tops and they wash well. They're really great, really great. So I'll drop my link again. If you're interested, you can use my code DevourDinner10 at checkout for 10% off. Get those shipped to you. They're really fun, really fun. And the family, they're small business owners. They're super cute family. All right. Juanita, yes, you can bake in. I know it's crazy, right? Because you think of them only for the freezer, but because they are silicone. Now, you can't put the lid in the oven, right? This lid will not go in the oven, but you don't need to bake covered. You just bake in this, right? Another fun thing that they have that's really fun for this big 2 cup size is they have stoneware that is the exact same size. So I will typically make individual lasagnas in these, freeze them up. Once they're frozen, pull them out, put them in Ziploc bags, seal them up, put them back in the freezer. When I'm ready to make them, I pull out the stoneware that fits these, pull out 2, 3, 4, however many I need for my family that day, let them sit out or cook them frozen, whatever I'm gonna do with them, and cook them up. And then everyone has their own individual stoneware with that single serve. It's really fun, really fun. Works great for soups. We do like split pea soup all the time, potato soup, a cheddar broccoli, you name it, you name it. Okay, let's see. What is the highest degree of baking? You know what? I am not sure off the top of my head, Juanita. I am not sure. I'm sure their website says this. I am not sure. Grams is saying, I can't put them in the... And then it's blank. I don't know what you're saying, Grams. Let me know. I'll try to answer that. All right. Last week, if you didn't see, I did show pictures of the grandkids. I have spent a couple of weeks there recently, and we did a fun photo shoot. So let me just pull up those photos really fast. Okay, there is little Honey Bear, and there is Little Miss. We did a Frozen themed. So we have Elsa and Anna dressed up, which is super fun. And then we also did, we'll pull this one over here. We did Little Miss as Snow White as well, which was just a joy as a Grammy to be able to take these girls' photos and dress them up and have so much fun. So that was kind of fun. right there. Carolyn says adorable grandbabies. I think they are. They're so fun. Little Honey Bear is going to be 1 here soon, the end of the month. And I think she'll be taking her first steps by then. So that's kind of fun. Very, very fun that way. Okay, we're going to hide these. I'll pull this one back over here. You guys, it got dark in here. Did you see that? Okay. Again, I know some of you come in and come out. If you're new to watching me, welcome. I'm Rebecca. If you're new to Cooking with the Instant Pot and you're afraid, this is a safe spot. There's no silly questions. Ask your questions in the comments. That's why I'm here, to answer your questions in real time. It's a great opportunity to have the ingredients and make this right along with me so that you can enjoy and make this too. And if you are troubleshooting anything, I can help you along the way. But I'm happy to answer any Instant Pot question that I'm able to while I'm live to help you be more comfortable with your Instant Pot and show you tips and tricks along the way. All right. This has been natural pressure releasing now for 7 minutes, so we're almost there. I'm going to scroll back up because I feel like I've missed some things. Kathy says, I'm making your 15 bean ham soup tomorrow. That is a good one. And that one freezes well too. Kathy, I hope you enjoy it. Okay, Miss Mount Shasta said, I wish I had hamburger buns so I could make this tonight. Can I tell you something? Come in close. Don't judge me. I like it with tortilla chips. Like, I'm not kidding. I like it with tortilla chips as a dip. I'm not kidding you. It is so good. So good. So you don't need hamburger buns. And by the way, make Sloppy Joes using regular sandwich bread. Toast that sandwich bread. Give it some, if you lightly toast it, it helps it so it doesn't absorb everything and just fall apart to mush. I much prefer to toast the hamburger buns or toast sandwich bread just to give it a little bit of stability. Just a thought. Let's see. Ellen says you could use these to freeze herbs for cooking in the winter. Yes. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. So super easy to do, especially with the little 2 tablespoon of, growing your fresh herbs in the summertime and washing them up, preparing them up. You can freeze garlic in smaller portions. Of course, cilantro, basil, so many great things, right? But use your herbs. It's wonderful. Wonderful. Oh, Grams, no, you wouldn't want to put these in the microwave. You wouldn't want to do that. Doreen is commenting about the Sloppy Joes that you could eat on a hamburger bun or on rolls, or you can serve it over a potato, which is true. I feel like chili is better over a potato, and here's my reasoning. Sloppy Joes tend to be a little bit on the sweeter side. We've put ketchup, we've put barbecue sauce, we put a little bit of brown sugar in it. So they tend to be a little sweeter, where chili isn't typically sweet. And so I think it fares better on a potato if it's chili, but you absolutely can do that. Mashed potatoes as well, Juanita, absolutely. Lindsay says, yes, I agree. Toast the bread, any bread. Sigrid says, caramelized onions. I'm going to make those and freeze them in my super cube. Oh, that's a great idea. Because whenever I caramelize onions, I always have extras. I'm going to try that. That's a great idea. The other thing that you can do, okay, this is like no brainer. So when you buy bell peppers, I can't use them all before they tend to go bad and gross, but I use them in things like scrambled eggs. So when I make scrambled eggs, I love to saute bell peppers with a little bit of ham first, and then I put my scrambled egg mixture in and scramble it up. So it's kind of like a really easy omelet, right? but I never use all my bell peppers. So what I do is I chop up all my bell peppers into little diced pieces, and then I freeze them in small portions. So like this little 2 tablespoon size, I would fill each of these cavities with the variety of bell peppers that I have, bell peppers and onions. I don't put any liquid, just the vegetable in here. But because they're all clumped together, they stick together and form kind of a little square. Those little portions are perfect for when I'm making scrambled eggs later, or I'm making an omelet later, or whatever it is. So these can be used in such a variety of ways. I'm not spending lots of time in the kitchen making up sauces and relishes or whatever to freeze. I'm using these to freeze for later so that I am saving some of those fresh ingredients that I don't want to go bad. Keep that in mind too. Juanita says to Sigrid, what a great idea. Debbie says, I'm making a grilled cheese on Texas toast and putting sloppy Joe mix on them. Okay, you're my kind of woman because that totally makes sense. All right, we're at 12 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and open this up. You know to open it up, move it away from your counters, move it away from your hanging lights. If you're new, you can use like a large spoon so that you don't have to get your fingers close. Okay, so we're going to open this up. The steam is going to shoot up. Now for this recipe, we're not going to have problems of it spitting things out. But if you're making soups where the ingredients come up pretty high and fill things up, you might tend to find that it spits out some of the ingredients. And when that happens, I want you to just close it. That is called intermittent pressure release or controlled pressure release. Okay? If you close it, then you can let things settle before you open it back up. So a lot of times when you're cooking pasta, there's lots of starches that are in your Instant Pot. And when you open it up to release the pressure, some of the starches get spit out. And you don't want that all over your kitchen. It makes a mess. It's gross. Don't do it. Close it, let it sit for another 30 seconds, and then open it back up. And you can do this as many times as you need through the process while it releases the pressure. It's really nice that way. Okay, this grilled cheese sandwich, I have to tell you. So while we're waiting for this to release its pressure, I have a hamburger bun, and I have some cheese. Now, mine's not as fancy as a grilled, but you could throw it in the air fryer and toast it up, put some cheese on there and melt it. But what I do like to do is I like to put it on that bottom piece because it kind of forms that barrier, kind of holds things into place. I do find that a simple slice of cheese, when you put the hot Sloppy Joe mixture on top, it's going to melt it naturally. It's just what it's going to do. So we don't need to worry so much about that. We're going to get oh, we don't have our overhead. We're going to try the overhead once we get this all plated up. We're going to try it. We're going to see if we can't still show it to you guys. I'm going to have to play with it this week. I changed one of my camera settings, and so I'm wondering if that's what did it. Okay. Open this up. Now, once again, if you do not know, this little square tab fits right into your handle. That's where it's designed to go because this lid is hot and you don't want to set it down on your countertop. You don't want to accidentally touch it because the metal inside will burn you. Put it in the lid. All the condensation from the inside will drip down to the bottom and collect in the little cup in the back. Super easy way. Now we're going to turn this around so I can see it. And I'm just going to grab a ladle because that's what I have handy. Now you remember we put the ketchup right in the middle and we put the barbecue sauce right in the middle. There was still a pile of that barbecue sauce. So I'm just going to stir that in. Oh, it smells so, so good. All right. Now, at this point, sometimes this recipe turns out different almost every time I make it. And I think it has to do with the amount of liquid that is in the vegetables, possibly the amount of liquid that is in the hamburger as well. And sometimes it's thinner than maybe I would like. You can thicken this up, by using like a tablespoon of cornstarch mixed with a little bit of water, make that slurry and throw it in, and then put it back on saute, and it will thicken that sauce up a little bit. The other thing that you can do is turn it on saute, and you can just let it naturally kind of simmer out, which is typically what I do, okay? So after I've made this, I will just let it slow saute simmer for, 5 minutes or so, and just kind of let a little bit of that come out so that it is not so sloppy. Make sense? I know sloppy joes are supposed to be sloppy. I get it. Okay, it's been a while since I've dropped the recipe, and I know we've had people come and go. So I'm gonna drop that recipe back in the links. And if you're here and you have not given this video a thumbs up or a heart, please do that. Please, please, please. It helps me so much. And if you have shared this this video on your regular page, in your timeline, or into a group, big hugs from me to you. Another big shout out to Amy from the Instant Pot 101 for Beginners group. Her love and support means so much to me. So if you're here from the Instant Pot 101 for Beginners, welcome. I do this almost every Sunday. And I have for about the last four years. So there's an archive of videos that you can go back through and watch and learn from and do. So if you're having any troubles or you're hesitant to ask questions, this is a safe spot. I cannot emphasize it enough. We've all asked the questions. Okay, let me serve this up. I'm seeing questions go by. What time is dinner? Not sure the drive from Utah, I would get there in time. One thing about letting that lid rest in the handle, remember to lift it out to cover the pot. Don't accidentally try to bend it over as it will break. Oh, Kathy, you're so right. So if you have a rice cooker, you know that the lid goes up, but then the lid goes down, right? It's hinged. This does not. So you do have to lift it up and lift it out and pull it away. Great point. Great point. All right. I'm letting this simmer as I mentioned, but I'm just going to kind of pull out some of this because I want to show you how good it is. Can you guys see this? I'm going to put that on top. Oops. It's definitely sloppy. All right, let's see if we can get a picture. I don't know. Nope. We're just not focusing today. Dang it. All right. Well, I'm telling you, it's beautiful. We're going to put the top on it. We're going to let it do its thing. I'm going to add some watermelon because, it makes the plate really nice. It is beautiful. I am not going to try to pick this up on camera. I know you guys at home are wishing that I would because it would be a complete catastrophe. And sometimes those are fun to watch. We're not going to do that. I'm going to taste it though, but I'm going to use chips because I really like to dip it. I really like to dip it. I love that you can see the celery, the bell peppers, the big vegetables. It gives texture. Now remember, they've processed in there for 5 minutes under pressure, so they're soft, but you're still gonna get some of that texture. Now I've gotta let this cool because it's gonna burn me. That was too hot, but that was excellent. Excellent. Listen, this really tastes like it is slow simmered all day long. And we've only had it cooking really under 30 minutes. And it is amazing how all the flavors meld together. It's truly a wonderful, wonderful recipe. I hope you will make this all summer long. This is wonderful for potlucks. If you do a neighborhood social, we always have a homeowners association party. This is great for family reunions, potlucks, camping, floating the river. At the end of the river, bring some of this and pull it out. Everyone who's just done the river float will be ravenous and they will love it. I promise. So many great ways to use this recipe. If you're interested in super cubes, order yours. They're wonderful. We love those. Let's see, what else? Burnt tongue, yeah. It is a little singed. Dar says, thank you. Where's the link for the silicone for the super cubes? Okay, let me add the link for the super cubes once again. I'm going to add it right here. So that is the link. Use code DevourDinner10. All one word, lowercase. DevourDinner10 will get you 10% off your order for the super cubes. You order them direct from the company. So that's wonderful. What else? Okay, I'm going to drop this again just because we've got our links up and going. You know I love my protein mix. I'm going to throw this out there. I have been playing around with I have a Ninja Creamy, and I have been playing around now for over a month making protein ice cream. You guys know how much I love my protein shakes in the morning. You know that I've been doing it religiously for the past 18 plus months. It's how it's helped me to lose weight. It's how it helps me to feel better. It's like so many things. But I've started to make protein ice cream, and I am floored. I am absolutely floored because ice cream is one thing I stopped eating 18 months ago. And I love ice cream. I am a big ice cream eater. So that's been fun. Thought about sharing some of those recipes. They're super simple. You see them all over Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. They're all over. They're not hard. But that's kind of a fun one. Oh, Kathy says, my Clean Simple Eats comes tomorrow. Yay, I'm so excited. Oh, Teresa, great question. So Teresa's question says, what size super cubes do you use the most? Probably the 1 cup. Probably the 1 cup. The little half cup size, this one right here, that is the little thin ones. When I was making baby foods, I really like these smaller ones. I'd actually consider freezing the Sloppy Joe mixture in this half cup size because then it's a single serving and then it's perfect. My husband can just take an individual serving to work, which I think I'm going to do. I was going to put it in this, but I think I'm going to wash that out, freeze those up, and make it in that. But the ones I use the most, probably the 1 cup size. The 2 cup size is big. Even making a personal lasagna, for me, I'm not a big eater. So those are really large for me. My husband will eat a big one. My sons will eat a big one. I'm a smaller eater. So I think the 1 cup's most versatile. That's what I would do. You're welcome, Carolyn. Juanita says, I love my Ninja Creamy, just ordered mine. Okay, Juanita and anyone else, if you have a Ninja Creamy, make sure you order some of the extra pint containers. They're hard to get. There's the Ninja Creamy Deluxe, the regular Ninja Creamy, and then there's the new Ninja Creamy Breeze. Each one of them has different size pint containers. Make sure you get the right size pint container for your Ninja Creamy because they're not the same. Shame on you, Ninja. They're fun. They are way, way fun. My husband and I have been enjoying protein ice cream in the evenings as a snack. And it's been a game changer because, you know, in the evening when you have like a sweet tooth and you want something, what do you go for? You go for sweet or salty, chips, crackers, cookies, muffins, you know, donuts, whatever. And now we're just going for a serving of protein. Like, it's shocking. We love it. Absolutely love it. So I'll share some more of those over on Instagram. We'll get them to Facebook, but it's kind of have fun. Oh, Juanita says, I have 12. Okay, I'm jealous. I don't have that many. That's fantastic. Carolyn says, last time I made manwich and froze the leftovers, my husband was upset that I didn't freeze them individually. That would be perfect. No, but really, right? If you freeze it and it's in this big container, well, now you have to thaw it out for multiple people, right? But if you freeze it in a smaller portion, like the half cup size, then you've got an individual. Now you can just pull out one and have a Saturday afternoon lunch, or you take to work. And you toast your bread before you go to work, so it's already toasted. You could heat it in the microwave to warm it if you want. You know, it's all good. Okay. Thank you. Big shout out again to Amy from the Instant Pot 101 for Beginners. Big hugs. I do appreciate all the love, all the support. If you've hopped over from there and you're watching me, please follow along. I do appreciate the support, the help. If you've made any of my recipes, especially this one, because you're going to try it this week, please go back and leave a comment. Rate the recipe, give it a star rating. Let others know you've made it and it's good. I promise you, it helps me. That is something simple that you can do to help my channel. This is a small business where the money that I make from my channel helps to support my family, my children. And I so appreciate the kindness of all of you who take the time to leave those reviews, those star ratings, who comment, who like, and who share on all of my social channels. You're my heroes. And I am just tickled that I get to do what I do because of you. So thank you. Thank you. All right, we're into June now. I hope you all had a safe and happy Memorial Day. June, we've got Father's Day coming up. We've got a busy month. School is out. Family reunions are happening. It's a month to celebrate Pride. There's a lot of love that just needs to be shared in the world, regardless. Please be kind. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to others. Give grace to others. It's a crazy world out there and it's tough. But I see all the good that you're doing at home and I love it. Big hugs, everybody. I'll be back next week with another fun and easy recipe. Make sure to set your alarms, mark your calendars, all the things, and I'll be back here. All right, everybody. Bye now.